want you to hit me as hard as you can.
All actors are kinda crazy, but you already know this, don't ya? Especially that one actor named John Travolta. You think you're hot stuff? Well, Travolta's hotter. He got his start on that show Welcome Back, Kotter. John says he got the part because of the Church of Scientology. 150 students sent a telepathic message to ABC. They magically told them to cast John in the part, such a supportive church, and he instantly got the role, so who knows, maybe it works. Travolta was in Brian De Palma's Carrie, his first gig. Because of his TV fame, he got top billing even though his character wasn't that big. He was in The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. It's like Bubble Boy, but a drama. In real life, John was romantically involved with the actress who played his mama. John Travolta got his pilot's license at age 22. He loves flying. Once he made an emergency landing when the power went out. So exciting! Reading L. Ron Hubbard made him a strong believer. He dropped 20 pounds for Saturday Night Fever. To get into shape, he ran a lot and every day danced for 3 hours. Travolta fixed Marlon Brando's leg with his faith-healing powers. The Mafia firebombed the disco club after a disagreement in a transaction. And this right here is not acting, this is John's real reaction.
We just washed the hair.
Travolta danced into our hearts and onto the screen. Production would often stop because his teenage fans would scream. John is a great dancer, gotta give the man credit. Travolta wanted more full shots to show off his dancing, so he demanded a re-edit. John would switch out between 2 suits because he would get really sweaty. Right after finishing Saturday Night Fever, he did Grease and had 4 days to get ready. But he had already played Danny on stage 7 years before, so it's cool. He was 23 years old playing a kid in high school. John Travolta is great at singing a song, and decades later he made a Christmas album with Olivia Newton-John. Next, Travolta played a cowboy who was urban. This is like Saturday Night Fever but the country music version. For research, John went to real-life honky-tonk bars to get into some trouble. For the bull riding scenes, he refused a stunt double. Yes, John Travolta was in the cowboy zone. To practice, he had a mechanical bull built in his home. He worked with Brian De Palma again, a great director no doubt. John starred in the thriller Blow Out. This film showed us that John could do more than just dance. While filming, he suffered from insomnia, but it helped his performance. John Travolta is cool, John Travolta is groovy. Quentin Tarantino cast John in Pulp Fiction because he loved him in this movie. Sometimes he hangs out with strangers at a gym all alone. The sequel to Saturday Night Fever was directed by Sylvester Stallone. He trained intensively for this film for over 2 years. The movie Perfect was not so perfect and it threw off his career. Travolta was not in another film for 4 years. He was stuck in a slump. He was almost cast as Rambo, Jim Morrison, and Forrest Gump. He was in Look Who's Talking, where babies talk, unlike in reality. John said this character is most like his real-life personality. Look Who's Talking 2 and Look Who's Talking Now would soon follow. Some say the real John died and was replaced by Roy Black, but that conspiracy is hard to swallow. Then he played Vincent Vega. It was his big comeback. Once again, he was a Hollywood playa. For his character research for Pulp Fiction, he spoke with a person with a real heroin addiction. John wanted to experience the drug, but not do it for real. Duh. So he got in a hot tub and got drunk on tequila. For Get Shorty, he insisted that they use the exact words from the book. And he won a Golden Globe. Here, look. Travolta wanted his character to be bigger than life in the film Broken Arrow. John chose to play the villain and not the hero. For this film, he trained with professional boxers so he could learn how to fight. Sometimes John Travolta can be seen at a Denny's in the middle of the night. He was in Mad City in the year 1997, and in Michael he played a drinking, smoking angel from heaven. John Travolta is blessed with godly blessings. For this role, he took 500 hours of Spanish lessons. In the film Face Off, he shot guns and did kung fu. Directed by his good friend John Woo. As far as action movies go, this one's pretty great. Most of the time, John Travolta did his scenes perfectly in one take. He played the bad guy again and unleashed his rage. To learn how to play each other, he spent 2 weeks with Nicolas Cage. He was in primary colors, another performance worth a mention. He basically played President Bill Clinton. Travolta gained 30 pounds for the role, he put food in his mouth and shoved it. Bill Clinton saw the movie many times and said he loved it. He's one of the coolest dudes of all time, and was in Terrence Malick's Thin Red Line. 170 million, that's Travolta's net worth. Next, he made a Scientology film called Battlefield Earth. This film broke records at the Razzie Awards. Travolta compares it to Schindler's List and Star Wars. John tried to get this film made for decades since he was very young. Looking back, John said there's nothing different he would have done. In this film, his character has a very interesting look. While promoting the film, John signed copies of L. Ron Hubbard's book. On the set of Swordfish, he sang show tunes with Hugh Jackman. In Austin Powers Goldmember, he got a little cameo action. He was in The Punisher, Be Cool, and Ladder 49, Basic, and The General's Daughter. All of these films are just fine. In Hairspray, he got to dance a lot and sing many a song. It took 4 hours to put on the costume and makeup to play the mom. John was fabulous in this. His music makes some great sounds. The fat suit weighed 30 pounds. You should go watch this musical in case you missed it. John Travolta asked for his womanly body to look realistic. He was always the studio's very first choice to be the dog named Bolt's voice. John was in The Taking of Pelham 123 remake by Tony Scott, and From Paris with Love, a movie with an action-filled plot. John Travolta has a golf course and an airport at his home, and was in Savages directed by Oliver Stone. He was in that motorcycle comedy Wild Hogs, and was with Robin Williams in Old Dogs. He danced on stage with 50 Cent for no particular reason, and has a Bosnian accent in the film Killing Season. American Crime Story was his 40-year reunion with the television screen. He pronounces Adina Menzel as Adele Dazeem. John Travolta was the actor that the Gotti family personally chose. To get into character, he wore John Gotti's real clothes. John Travolta is the greatest, praise Jesus, Allah, and Lord Xenu. He's simply the best, but this is already something we knew.